It's Our Story. Krista Westendorp, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
When Aaron was a baby, for his first 3 years, there was no financial mechanism for him to be cared for at home. And so our health insurance would pay 80% of his care costs, but since his medical bills were about $10,000 a month at that time, we didn't have any way to pay those bills. We could either place Aaron in a foster home and his bills would be covered, or we could live at a poverty level and meet the federal poverty standard and keep him at home. So that's what we did. Doug worked at a grocery store and I stayed home with the kids. And if we earned less than $2,500 a month gross, we could qualify for medical assistance for Aaron. And so we decided to do that because that was the only option. And it was really horrible because we weren't used to the little things you have to do to stay on medical assistance. Like after the first Christmas, the financial worker said, "Well, what'd you get for Christmas?" And we said, "Well, we got this and that, and then Grandpa sent us a check and this and that." And she's like, "Okay, write that down because we're going to have to subtract, or we're going to have to add that to your income this month." And so that month we didn't get his financial assistance because we had to put the Christmas presents on the list of income. And it was just this careful way of life because when your kid is sick and you have to go to the hospital, say for 5 days, and suddenly you have to pay for parking and lodging and meals, well, you can't do that when your whole income is already earmarked for your rent and your phone bill and your heating bill. Then you're stuck. And at that time, Minnesota had an option to take on TEFRA, which would be a medical assistance program based on a child's disability rather than the parent's income. And so I did my first advocacy work by going to the Capitol and just telling our story about how we had to keep our income at poverty level in order to keep Aaron at home, and what a difference TEFRA would make. And surprisingly, even though the federal government subsidized TEFRA in the states that chose it, I think there was only 8 states that actually chose to take TEFRA. And maybe 10 years later, I met some parents of kids with disabilities whose states had not taken the TEFRA option, and they still were living at poverty standard to keep their kids at home. So I'm very grateful that Minnesota decided to do that.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.